And so we are going to explore embracing self-care through pleasure. And I am so excited about this week. First of all, I love the word pleasure. Can I just say that? And I got inspired by two goddesses, Beyonce and Janet Jackson. Okay? All right. But before we get there, I just want to share the definition for pleasure. Enjoyment, delight or satisfaction derived from what is to one's liking. Another definition is one's will, desire, or choice. And the origins of the word balance is Latin, and it means to please. So when we think about pleasure, let's also think about to please. Okay, what is pleasing? So I have a question for you, and you could put your answers in the comments here in the chat box on Zoom. If you're with us on Facebook, you can put the answer to this question in the comments. What are some of your self-care practices that are pleasurable? What are some of your self-care practices that are pleasurable to you? Lava said meditation. Yes. Swimming. That's a good one too. Let me check in on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, what are some of your self-care practices that are pleasurable? Heard Lava sharing her decluttering group. That's great too, decluttering. Dancing, walking, music, being in the church of the great outdoors. Yes, that's a good one too. Let's see. Smoothies, music, okay. Playing music. Music's a big one for me also. Walking as the sun comes up is what Julian's sharing on Facebook. Reverend Jennifer said, walking and listening to music. Beautiful, beautiful. My spiritual study groups. Beautiful, right? So we know what we find pleasurable, right? We know what those things are. My number one thing recently is being in nature and talking to the trees. Those trees, I have such a appreciation for trees now. It's just awesome. So that's part of my self-care practice now. Someone else said meeting new people and church. Yes, 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 yes. So as I shared, when I was thinking about the message, songs sometimes come to mind when I think about messages. And since our topic is pleasure, a song that came to mind was Janet Jackson's song, Pleasure Principle. Do y'all know that song? It's a classic. It's a classic. Yeah, I saw Janet Jackson a couple of years ago in Las Vegas, and she sang that song, and we was up getting it in. So that song came to mind. And then one of my recent favorite songs of Beyonce's from her Renaissance album is Cozy. So I don't know if you're familiar with that song, but I would invite you after service to go on YouTube and play that song. So Beyonce's song starts with this line, the song Cozy. It starts with this line. This is a reminder. That's how the song opens. This is a reminder. And the hook for the song is comfortable in my skin, cozy with who I am, comfortable in my skin, cozy, cozy, comfortable in my skin, feet up above your sins. I love myself, so cozy, I love me. So Beyonce is reminding us throughout the song to be cozy with who we are by loving ourselves, right? And is that not self-care? To be cozy with yourself, right? by loving ourselves. And Janet Jackson's song, Pleasure Principle, and the song is in the context of sexual pleasure. And I say, let's not leave out delight, right? Let's not leave out delight. After all, the origins of pleasure means to please. So let's not leave out sexual satisfaction. Yes? Yes. So in any context, it is important to know what we gain pleasure from and what is pleasing to our self-care. So today I want to offer 3 pleasure principles. And these 3 pleasure principles will support us in embracing self-care. So you might be familiar with this Bible verse from the book of Luke. It's verse 12:32. It says, "Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And so Ernest Holmes references this Bible verse in the Science of Mind text. And he writes, if it is the Father's pleasure to give us the kingdom, then it should be our privilege to accept the gift. Are you willing to accept the gift of good pleasure that our Father, here on Father's Day, that our Father is giving to us? We don't have to earn it, right? We don't have to struggle for it. It is given to us, the kingdom. Ernest Holmes also referenced the verse by saying, if it is the Father's pleasure, if it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom, we should learn how to receive and use it. Receive and use the good pleasure. So that's our first pleasure principle. Our first pleasure principle is to accept, receive, and use God's gift of the kingdom. And let's be clear about the kingdom. In the book Revealing the Word by Charles Fillmore, he gives us the metaphysical meaning of kingdom. Kingdom as the realm of divine ideas that produce their expression in perfect harmony. Where is the kingdom? The kingdom is within us. The kingdom is within us. And Ernest reflects it back to us in this way. God knows no outside. God is ever inside. The outer realm of reality with a capital R is exactly at the center of itself. The kingdom is within you. And every master teacher reminds us that the kingdom is within us. Heaven is consciousness. It dwells within us. You are living as heaven or you are living as hell right here and right now. You don't have to go anywhere. It's your consciousness. So the pleasure principle is the kingdom consciousness of through me and as me, right? It's a high consciousness. It's a high vibration, right? So we are the vessel for good pleasure, God's good pleasure. Not any old pleasure, y'all, but God's good pleasure to pour into us. So are you willing to accept, receive, and use God's gift of the kingdom that is within you, not in the world? So not in the next thing that you have to do before you can take care of yourself. It's not before you can express the divine ideas that are seeking activation through you. It is now within you. So as Beyonce said in her song, the first line, this is a reminder. This is a reminder. It is your will desire, and choice to be cozy in your kingdom? Can you be cozy in your kingdom? This is a reminder that yes, you can. The second pleasure principle is connecting within to express that which brings you enjoyment, delight, and satisfaction. Do you know what you enjoy? What are your delights? What do you receive satisfaction in? How often do you do the things that you enjoy? How often? You'll share a whole list of things. How often do you do the things that you enjoy? How often do you take delight in yourself, right? How often are you satisfied with your day? Right? This is a time of inventory. Yes, let's take assessment. If you enjoy watching the sunset, when was the last time you did that? If you delight in curling up with a good book, how often do you choose to do so? If you are satisfied through sexual healing, when was the last time you had great sex? These are the questions, y'all. Because we are embracing self-care on all levels, physical, mental, emotionally, spiritually. Yes, this is the embodiment of who we are. We are full, complex beings of light. So it's time to stop denying our own well-being. It's time to stop sacrificing the things that we delight in because we believe the lie that we don't have time for ourselves. And I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to y'all. It is a lie believing that we don't have time for ourselves. I've had experiences where time stretches, just expands, right? And you're like, you think an hour went by, it was only 5 minutes because you're in that sweet spot of pleasure. Y'all know what I'm talking about, or is it just me? Okay, all right, all right. So some of us confuse the S words. We confuse the S word satisfaction with the S word sacrifice. Stop sacrificing yourself. Stop today. Stop sacrificing yourself. I was recently reminded of a saying by Reverend August Gold. August Gold was the spiritual director at Sacred Center of New York a long time ago. And that was the center actually that I met Reverend Jennifer. She was a guest speaker there. And one of the things that August Gold would remind us of was about self-care. And she would say, it's okay to give to yourself first. Me first, then you first. So we must fill up our cup first and then give to others from the overflow. If we don't fill ourselves up first, then we have nothing to give to others. So if you believe you do not have time for self-care, it's time to neutralize this wrong state of thought. If you want to change a thought, that's one that you want to change, and it will change your life. Ernest reminds us of this in the Science of Mind text. The idea of false renunciation of the giving up of all pleasure and benefits in this life is not even suggested in the teachings of Jesus. Self-effacement, the neglect of the body, the belief that we must be unhappy and poor in order to serve the truth, all of these are immature ideas which deny the birthright, the divine birthright of the soul, the incarnated spirit of the Most High within us. This is a reminder. Cease and desist sacrificing your well-being by renouncing satisfaction on behalf of anyone. And I mean anyone. Which brings us to our final pleasure principle. The third pleasure principle is to honor the divine birthright of your soul, which is God as you. Your divine birthright is freedom and self-care. It is your spiritual birthright. By sacrificing self-care, we are denying our birthright. Denying our birthright. That is deep, y'all. It is time to stop denying ourselves. Because guess what? The truth is, you are worthy of self-care by just being who you are, just as you are, right here and right now. You don't have to earn it. Don't have to earn your birthright. It is our Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. It is our divine birthright. Ernest Holmes shares in the Science of Mind text, freedom is the birthright of every living soul. Thus, the inherent nature of everyone is forever seeking to express itself in terms of freedom. We do well to listen to this inner voice, for it tells us of a life wonderful in its scope, of a love beyond our fondest dreams, of a freedom which the soul craves. That is so delicious to me. I got to read it again. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul. Raise your hand if you are not a living soul. Anybody on Facebook? Put in the chat if you are not a living soul. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul. Thus, the inherent nature of everyone is forever seeking to express itself in terms of freedom. We do well to listen to this inner voice, for it tells us of a life wonderful in its scope, of a love beyond our fondest dreams, of a freedom which our soul craves. What are you craving, beloved? What is your soul craving? You know what it is. It came straight to mind. Straight to mind. What's the feeling tone of freedom for you? Because we know it's not just about our thinking. We know that it's also about our feeling also. So what's the feeling tone of freedom for you? What does self-care feel like for you? And are you listening? Are you listening to your inner voice that is telling you clear as day what it is? So this is a reminder. All answers are within you, not without. This is a reminder to trust your inner voice, to trust your inner voice. So I want to bring us to a close by just going in for a moment. So just get comfortable. You can close your eyes or whatever's good for you. And let's just take a couple of deep cleansing breaths, some centering breaths. And I'm going to ask those questions again. And just allow the answer to bubble up. What are you craving? Take a breath. What is your soul craving? What is the feeling tone of self-care for you? What does it feel like? Remember, we're listening to our inner voice. What is your soul craving? And what is the feeling tone of self-care for you? Take a breath. And now feel that feeling. Feel the feeling tone of self-care. Does it feel like love, peace, joy, harmony? Does it feel like a breeze? What is the feeling tone? Feel it now, because it is within you, not without. The kingdom is within you. It is your divine birthright. Feel it now. Take a breath. Get cozy with the feeling. Take pleasure in the feeling. Delight with yourself. Take a breath. This is what you need to remember. Remember what your soul is craving, and remember the feeling of it. Allow your self-care to express it. Last thing, what is one thing you can do this week as a demonstration of self-care that is pleasurable for you? You know your soul's craving. You have the feeling of it. And now, how can you apply it? What action can you commit to doing this week as self-care for yourself? And take a breath. And you can open your eyes. So this is the reminder, y'all. Accept, receive, and use God's gift of the kingdom. Connect within to express what delights you, and honor the divine birthright of God as you. Accept, receive, use, honor yourself by embracing the pleasures of self-care. Peace and blessings, everybody.